So these are the sublimation ready wind spinners that we are going to be using today. And just like that, they turn out like this. After you decide what you're going to put on your wind spinner, you're going to want to remove the protective coating from both sides of the wind spinner. And now this one is an interesting wind spinner. It's actually a skull, but I'm going to be turning it upside down and using it for something different. After you remove that protective coating, you're going to want to clean these really well because there can be little metal flakings that will come off of them. I do find that a lint roller works, and then if you have any residue from that, clean it up with some rubbing alcohol on a coffee filter. Works real well. So here is one of the designs that I decided to use, and this is actually a little ghost print. So you can see I'm going to be turning that skull upside down and I'm going to be putting a little ghost print on there. So now when you print these, make sure you measure your wind spinner, and I go about 1/4 inch bigger on both side and top and bottom so that the wind spinner fits nicely on the paper. And also you're going to want to print 2 of each image. And if there are no words on it, you can do one facing forward and one in reverse. So one regular and one in reverse. So then when you put them on, they're facing the same way when they spin. But if they have words or phrases on them, you need to reverse both. So you can see here on the left, you can see the 2 little ghosts that I have for the bottom dangle, and I have one facing to the left and one facing to the right. So this is the small part that came with the wind spinner that hangs on the bottom. I'm going to call it a dangle. So you can see here that there is an image that is printed regular and an image that is printed in reverse, because I'm going to be putting one on each side, and we're going to be pressing these at the same time. And this is just another picture to show you how I print my designs out to make sure that they're going to fit properly on my blank. I'm using the HTV Ront manual heat press for this, and I have added a silicone mat to this press. I find that it holds the heat really, really well for these wind spinners and hard substrates, actually hard blanks. It really works well. I'll have a link below for most of the things that I'm using in this video, and I have a link for the press and for the pressing mat here, this silicone mat. So, and then on the right here you can see that I have covered it with protective paper. And now I've put the image face up on the protective paper, and then I centered my wind spinner right on that piece of paper. Now this is HTV Ront 125 sublimation paper that I'm using, and of course my designs are sublimation printed with sublimation ink. And so now what I do is I take my next image, which is going to be placed right on top of that wind spinner, face down on the wind spinner, the same direction, so make sure your top and bottom are going the same way. And then what I do is I tape this piece of paper with the sublimation image down on my protective paper. I do not want to have my heat resistant tape touching the wind spinner, because that could leave a mark where there won't be sublimation ink getting on there during the press. So I am very careful to tape this down onto my pressing mat with the protective paper. So it kind of gives you that sandwich effect. So you have an image on the bottom and an image on the top. So now you can see that little dangle here on the left that also has that little sandwich effect going. And I also taped that right down onto the protective paper. Actually, it's on the sublimation paper that doesn't have any ink on it there. And then on the right, you can see that I have put another piece of protective paper on top before we press. So while you're getting your designs ready, you want to heat your press up. And so I am pressing these at 385 degrees Fahrenheit for 75 seconds. And again, both sides sandwiched together, so when it's done, both sides are going to be sublimated. So when your heat press is up to temperature, close it up and press for 75 seconds. Be sure to use protective gear. Here I am using heat-resistant gloves, and I have a cooling mat set off to the side with another clean piece of paper on it, so that when I send the image on there, it is not going to pick up any stray ink from my pressing mat. So the 75-second press at 385 degrees is complete. So I took the protective paper off, and you can see that it transferred nicely through the print. I just love the reveal. So here it is with the top piece taken off. And here is the back side. And then these two pieces are off to the cooling mat. Now we're going to start our second wind spinner. So I line my design up again, put my blank on top, and of course that's on top of a clean piece of protective paper. Do not reuse your protective paper. And here you can see that I'm going to be setting the other image on top, and this is where we're going to be sandwiching them together and using heat-resistant tape to tape them in place again. And here it is, all taped in place and ready to go. And of course, again, another clean piece of protective paper. And again, it's just a repeat of the same wind spinner, 385 degrees Fahrenheit for 75 seconds. Here on the left, you can see it right after the press. And on the right, here is the front side. And here is the back side on the left. And again, off to the cooling mat. And this third wind spinner that we are doing is a Christmas tree design, and it did not have a dangle with it. So we are just going to put the Christmas tree down, and we're going to sandwich it between our design and tape it in place with heat-resistant tape again. And again, protective paper, and press 385 degrees Fahrenheit for 75 seconds. And again, perfect results. And the reveal of the other side of the Christmas tree. And again, off to the cooling mat. Now I know this was a lot of repetition, doing 3 the same way, but it's good to have repetition so that you can see that it does work out, and it works out very well. And here they are after I put them together with their hanging pieces. And I did actually add some jewels to the bottom of the dangles. And you can't see, but on the bottom of the Christmas tree one, I actually added a 1-inch crystal so that it would have some weight as well. All right, here they are. Give that one a little spin. And this one. I don't know if I can get you to see the rest. See links below for items that I've used in this video, and please like and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.